Good morning and welcome to today's 5-minute message. It's December 15th. It's Wednesday. It's going to be a great day. How do you feel about this today? Are you ready for Wednesday? Getting closer to Christmas? It's going to be a great day today. You know, as I think through my walk with the Lord, the people that I'm able to talk to, the relationships that I've built, new people that I meet, one of my favorite questions to ask people is, when did you come to know the Lord? Maybe I've asked you this question. It is amazing to me how few people genuinely know how to answer this question. They tell me all kinds of funny things. I get all kinds of funny looks. I get answers that range from how their mom and dad took them to church as kids. Okay. They tell me about their baptism. It's like, okay. They give me all kinds of these answers. And unfortunately, none of these answers answer the question. You know, as the Apostle Paul is dealing with these people in the book of Galatians, and in fact, that is where we're at in our study this morning, Galatians chapter 3, verses 6 through 9, he's trying to talk to us about trusting God for our salvation. How it doesn't depend upon us. It doesn't depend upon something we've done. It doesn't depend upon our baptism or if our parents went to church or anything like this. And one of the objections that gets levied against the Apostle Paul is they say, well, we have the right lineage. If Paul were to ask these people, when did you come to know the Lord? They're going to start telling him about their lineage, where they're from. Well, they're descendants of Abraham, so therefore they must be okay. Just like many of us will say, well, I was baptized, therefore I must be okay. My parents went to church, therefore I must be okay. Well, I go to church every Sunday, so therefore I must be okay. And the Apostle Paul in this section is like, nope, don't think so. That doesn't cut it. That's not what we're talking about here. Last week we looked at life, different things that we can do to try to earn our salvation. Not going to work. If we're truly going to trust God for our salvation, we truly have to trust him for our salvation and not depend upon the things that we've done, not depend upon our life. And today we're going to think about lineage. It doesn't depend upon lineage. This is what it says, verses 6 through 9. Just as Abraham believed God and it was accounted to him for righteousness, therefore know that only those who are of faith are sons of Abraham. And the scriptures, foreseeing that God would justify the Gentiles by faith, preached the gospel to Abraham beforehand, saying, in you all the nations of the earth will be blessed. So then those who are of faith are blessed with believing Abraham. So what is Paul saying here? If you want to claim that because you're a descendant of Abraham, you're okay. Well, let's think about how Abraham handled this. What was Abraham's claim to fame then? How did he get so good with God? Did he have the right lineage? Did he do something right? How did this happen with Abraham? If we go back into the record of Genesis 15, Abraham believed in God and it was accounted to him for righteousness. Because of course, that's our big problem, is we lack righteousness. Many of us say, well, he's a good person or I'm a good person. Being a good person isn't what God is looking for. You could be good all day long. That doesn't make any bit of difference. He's not looking for goodness. He's looking for righteousness. And that is what we lack. We do not have any works of righteousness. We have nothing righteous about any single one of us. So when Abraham believed on God, believed his promises, believed who he was, etc., when Abraham believed in God, it was credited to him for not goodness, because that's not what we need. It was a credit to him for righteousness. And Paul says this is what Abraham did. If you want to say that Abraham is the reason why you get to have access to heaven, is this why you get to be okay? How did Abraham get to be okay? He believed in God. This is what you need to do as well. He says, therefore, know that only those who are of faith are sons of Abraham. If you want to claim Abraham as your lineage, the only way you can claim him is if you have faith also, just like Abraham when he believed in God, and that was accounted to him for righteousness. And the scripture foreseeing that God would justify the Gentiles by faith preached the gospel to Abraham beforehand, saying, in you all nations of the earth will be blessed. This is what we need, is the faith that Abraham had. So those who are of faith are blessed with believing Abraham. Have a great day.